So you help others bring you help make the word storm a verb in that
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
You make them take that brainstorm and take it into action, because we know a lot of times people are having brainstorms all over the world, but
yep,
how do you get it into the space of taking action and be
yeah,
able to and I keep saying the word accomplish, achieving it, because a lot of times you can't do that, as you mentioned earlier, unless you believe it. And that
exactly.
belief in that idea is, yes, it sounds good, but I don't know if I can. Then here comes the little creepers, right?
Yep,
I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't think I have the skill set. I don't think I have the time. You do a lot of knots, and I call those the knots in our lives. Every time
yes,
that we're mentioning the word not, we actually place a knot in our life. I can't, I won't, I cannot, I will not. And so it's very important. Someone like you literally interrupt those knots, don't you?
we call them poison words, right? Those are the poison words, right? Can't, should, might, those are my poison words. You want to go for the phenomenal words of, now, and all the active words of I am confident, I am making a difference, I am strong, I am brave, all of that comes along with it. And that's the beauty of the mind mapping, because we take the core and then we go around the circle and we look at personal and career and finance and relationships and
Mm-hmm.
health and lifestyle, and we map out, which is great for the people that need uh, a measurable outcome, because the mind map is co-created with the client, and it's something that my clients are putting up on their desks, on their walls. It's become a vision board for them, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
making it really work.
And I
So
love
it's
that
fun.
part with the. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's fun to see them actually accomplish the tasks and come back to me. I just had a woman, I worked with her in January, and she just came back to me and she had done everything on her mind map. So it was time for her new mind map. And it was so exciting for her to see how much she had accomplished.
Wow. And you know what? Sometimes you have to write it down. You have to write it down to see it, so that you
Yep.
can start believing in your own. Because a lot of times having it in, okay, yes, we're thinking about it, but taking the time to writing it down and strategizing a plan so that you can do the actions is
Yeah,
really going to be a really a big difference into how long it takes for you to get it accomplished.
exactly. Exactly. Yep. Makes a huge
So
difference.
definitely. So Jane, if someone wanted to reach out to you, how can they do that?
Jane at JaneSTORM.com, or they can just check out my website, JaneSTORM.com. I have a free toolkit on how to get through the storm they can download, or I'll email it to them. And it's a great, just some fun tips on getting through the storm through affirmations and other activities that they can do uh, to really dig deep by themselves in the comfort of
Exactly.
their own homes.
And in that way to get the process started of taking
Exactly.
care of all of these ideas that's all over our, in our mindsets. And so be able to start the process of figuring out exactly what it is that you want to do. Because a lot of times a person will grab a coach and believe that the coach is going to just give them the answer, when in reality,
Right.
like you mentioned, start doing the digging, start doing the work of figuring out, okay, what is it that I want to do? And then having someone like you come along to help support them as they're getting it done.
Exactly. So the toolkit, I call my JaneStorm process the appetizer of coaching. So the toolkit is the
I
topping.
love that.
It's the drink before the appetizers. So it's your own drink in your own house. Then if you really want the appetizers and you want the full meal, then you sign up for the rest of it, and we take it from there. And then
So
we
what you're
go
saying,
full meals.
so you're the full meal.
Yep. And I also do the appetizer because I know that people are
Okay,
impatient in this nanosecond world. So I
I
do an
love it.
appetizer coaching through 4 or 5 sessions as well.
I love it. I love it. So it is. And if you had to share with the world, how is it that you do what you do, and
It's
how
it's
would you share it?
A conversation. It starts with a conversation. And what I have found is that doing it over the phone for the first 3 sessions works, because what was happening is I write a lot and people edit themselves. So I find that when I'm doing the JaneSTORM appetizer of coaching, that when they are not on video, they're much more vulnerable and they're much more likely to tell me things. And then that's when they get wowed, because they're shocked at how much I'm able to retain. So it's a conversation that opens their eyes up to things that they didn't even know they needed. And that comes by the 3rd session. And then we do the mapping. And then from there, we take on individual coaching sessions and we work on specific topics that have come up from the mind map and affirmation process. So if I had to say what JaneSTORM does, it's impact, it's inspiration, and it's educating themselves about who they are and how they want to move forward.
And I've noticed a lot of times, you know, when it comes to sometimes the stuckness that we go through in our lives, it can come as something that happened in our youth, when we were a child.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to share with your younger self an advice, what would that be?
You do you. We're all unique. We all have something to offer the world. Stop worrying about what others think of you, what others want from you, and be your authentic, amazing self. Because every single person listening is amazing and authentic, and they need to do themselves. And then the magic will happen.
I love it. You do you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how this was a phenomenal chat, Jane. I know last time we just have a blast every time we get together.
Yeah.
So you're a storm. Yes, you're a storm for sure. You create waves, and definitely so many people are in need of what it is that you help them with. And it's to get that brainstorming started so those ideas could start flowing and not being stuck, and be able to start believing in themselves so that they can go on and live their best life, or actually have their best business or their best team. Thanks, Jane, for stopping by.
Thank you. Get in touch. JaneSTORM, a positive force for your future.
I love it. So, well, folks, everyone, definitely Jane brought in the information, the movement of how it is important for us to look deep down inside and understand that believing in what it is that we're thinking, the ideas that are coming through are important, not only to your life, but possibly to your business and to your team, but of course, to yourself. So reach out to her, reach out to within yourself, and reach out to her to know that life is waiting for you. Thank you.
Love that.
Joining your inspired journey. I'm Carla Andrews, and I'll see you soon.